1-7 on the 10-game road trip, scoring just 5 runs in 3 losses to the Mets. Tonight, the Diamondbacks are in D.C. 2 of the league's top MVP candidates on display, or Triple Crown candidates. The first of 3 on a hot summer night at Nationals Park. Been a long time since the Nats have been home, it seems. Long time, back in May, since they've seen the Diamondbacks. So let's see how the Nats measure up with Doug Fister going on the mound tonight against an Arizona team that's still fighting for a playoff spot out west. The Nats in a virtual tie with the Mets. They played 2 fewer games. So by percentage points, that's why Nationals are still on top of Mets in the NL East standings. Bob and FP, great to be back with you guys. We really missed you, but we've been looking forward to watching Goldschmidt, 27 years of age, Harper, just 22.
Yeah, like we just said, 2 Triple Crown candidates going at it here today, and Paul Goldschmidt and Bryce Harper, and the numbers are just incredible how they've dominated the National League offensively. When you look at the batting average, Paul Goldschmidt number 1 with 342, Bryce Harper number 2 with 331. The home runs, the RBI, these guys are at the top of every list when you talk about stats for the National League. So the 2 frontrunners in my mind, maybe throw Buster Posey in there for an NL MVP going at it here tonight.
And the Diamondbacks can score some runs, but the Nats scored more in Arizona. They won 2 out of 3. First game, Nats won 11-1. Then they lost 14-6. Then they won 9-6. And the big blow of that last game was the Michael A. Taylor grand slam to straightaway center field. So Harper and Zimmerman did big things, but Michael A's the one that gave the Nats that series win. And brought to you by PNC Bank for the Achiever in you, and by Night Point Systems. They offer the technology you need when you need it. The Nats need some offense. Hopefully Doug Fister can shut down the Diamondbacks the way he pitched in Miami last week. And then the Nats can get some things going with Bryce. He's going to have Escobar and Rendon in front of him tonight. Clear skies, 90 at the ballpark. It's been a sizzler today. The good news is the humidity is well under 50%. Diamondbacks have scored the second most runs in the league. Only the Rockies have scored more. And A.J. Pollock has really become one of the National League's unheralded best players this year. 340 his last 14 games. He's second in the league in runs, fourth in base hits, and 10th in batting average, hitting .305. Here's Doug.
Yeah, last start threw the fastball 62% of the time, slider 15, curveball 7, change 17. Picked up the win his last start, July 29th against the Marlins. 6 innings, gave up 2 runs on 4 hits, struck out 4 Marlins through 96 pitches.
Ender Inciarte is in the batter's box. We're underway with a strike at 7:05. Doug Fister, career 1 appearance at Arizona last year. That ball out of play to the left side. He gave them just 1 earned run in 7 innings. 33rd year for the crew chief Brian Gorman, who has the plate. Mark Carlson, 17th year at first. Gabe Morales and Trip Gibson, the rest of the crew. Strike 3 call. And that's it. Inciarte, who came in hitting .317 against right-handed pitching this year.
Well, Doug Fister talking about standing tall and getting on top of his pitches and throwing that front hip sinker, getting the run on the fastball, and you see him start it right at Inciarte, run it back for strike 3, and that's how this one starts. Nice pitch.
A.J. Pollock is next. 1 pitch in between Hopfery and Desmond. Handled it well. Over to Zimmerman. 2 quick outs.
So the defense for the Nats tonight behind Doug Fister. Robinson, Taylor, Harper, the outfield. Jason Worth with the day off after the late ESPN game last night. Desmond Escobar left side. Rendon Zimmerman right side. And Wilson Ramos behind the plate. Clint Robinson playing some left orchard tonight.
Doug Fister facing Paul Goldschmidt. 0 for 3 against him when they faced each other last year. Well, Goldschmidt, in similar fashion to Bryce Harper, some time off the field injured last year. He's been grinding away every day this year and just having a fabulous season.
Well, there's no movement. He goes no stride. He stays inside the baseball. There's no real holes in his swing. And he's a guy that'll take what the game gives him, take his base hits to right. If you make a mistake, he'll shoot you out up the middle the other way. He's got power to all fields.
4th full year in the big leagues.
And he reminds me a lot of Jeff Bagwell. And he's a Houston guy, and Bagwell was his favorite player growing up. And if you watch just his stance a little bit, his swing plane, a lot like Bagwell's.
Fister gets things back even at 2-2. Goldschmidt 3 for 8 with an RBI when the Nats 1-2 of 3 at Chase Field back in May. A little bit up.
Strike to some. Paul Goldschmidt has established that he knows the strike zone when you talk about how much he's been on base this year, the walks.
Yeah, one of the few guys with more walks than Bryce Harper. Ian Desmond has another one. Low throw. What a good first inning for Doug Fister. If you're looking for ground balls early, those last 2 hitters a very good sign for Doug. the league. Still in the top 6 in runs, top 4 in home runs. There's no panic in this ball club, but they would like to start making some noise offensively. So Ian Desmond last 13 games, a .304 batting average. He was 2 for 11 with a couple of big RBIs and a walk in New York. The Nats looking to get something going against a 25-year-old rookie, Zach Godley. Third big league start. He's 2-0.
Yeah, two-seam fastball 92, have some run to it, but he only throws that 32% of the time. The cut fastball, he throws 46 and 91. So a lot of cutters, a lot of late movement. Everything's moving all over the place. That guy got to elevate. He gets lots of ground balls off of that cutter. The last start earned his second career win in as many starts, 8-4 win July 28th against the Mariners. Went 6 innings, gave up 3 runs, 2 home runs, however.
And Yunel Escobar with a .360 on base percentage is in the leadoff spot tonight. Hits that one way out to right, and it's pulled in by Ender Inciarte right at the edge of the track.
That's when Escobar will go back to the dugout and they'll say, what does he have, Yunel? And he'll say a fastball. Peralta, Pollock, Inciarte the outfield. Ahmed Lamb the left side, Hill Goldschmidt right side, and Castillo behind the plate. One of the hardest workers in baseball when you talk to the Diamondbacks people, on his defense, on his offense.
Yeah.
And when you have a bunch of young players, they're looking to somebody with 3+ years in that works that hard. He sets a great example for everybody.
He's about 35 to 40 feet off the first base line for Rendon. This is as much as we've seen other ball clubs try to cut down that room between the first and second baseman.
Well, when you have a mobile guy like Goldschmidt, you can do that.
Anthony had a big game last night, of course, in New York. Hitting the ball beautifully. He was 3 for 4, hit a home run. Got his batting average up to .286. So he's 2 official at bats short of 100, and he has 28 hits. Sits safely in 5 of 7 games since returning. 1-1, jacks that one to left, and this one approaching the wall as well, but Peralta is there on a ball hit about .365. 2 loud outs.
Well, maybe because we've been on the road for a while and a little bit lower, I was fooled on this one. I thought he got him. He got some good extension, caught it out front, maybe a little off the sweet spot, and that was what kept it in the yard. Had a pretty good sound, too.
Diamondbacks have a very good outfield, and they're guys who produce with the bats as well. Here's Bryce, hitting .336 against right-handers. He goes up hacking, foul off to the left, so both teams on the attack here early.
But there's 2 ways to approach a guy you've never faced before. You know, wait him out, see what he's got, or if he's a strike thrower and that's the game plan, everyone's going to do it, get him early. And it seems like the Nats are going to be aggressive.
Outside to Bryce, 1 ball, 1 strike. Bryce coming off a weekend in New York when he was 3 for 13. He has hit safely in 10 of his last 11 games. Maybe the number 30 will come here at home. That ball hit well to left, but Peralta right there. 3 balls in the air, all struck well by the Nats. And a quick first inning in the books to start the homestand. And the nachos and the dogs and everything warm on this evening. 10 pitches, 7 strikes for Doug Fister. On a 1-2-3 first, he'll face David Peralta, Wellington Castillo, the former Cub, and the third baseman Jake Lamb. David Peralta, 28th birthday coming up in about a week and a half. He's from Valencia, Venezuela, and he had 286 in an 88-game Major League debut last year. He's at 281 now, and he's been hot. This team's got some good hitters. They like to run. Only the Reds have stolen more bases than Arizona's 91.
Chip Hill doing a nice job with the Diamondbacks. He's got them playing hard.
You know what? And he didn't like the effort yesterday in Houston. He aired them out after the game. They had won the first game of that series after sweeping at Seattle. Then they lost a couple, and he wasn't a happy manager yesterday. So your point well taken on how he wants his guys to approach every game. Ball hit up the middle. Momentary bobble there by Michael A. Taylor, and Peralta has a base hit.
Well, he just felt the energy level was low in a Sunday day game. They've won 6 in a row. They lost Saturday. He benched Yasmani Tomas for not running out a ground ball to first base on Saturday in the middle of the game. So he said it's 90 feet.
Yeah.
It's only 90 feet, so that's what we expect guys to run hard. Bench one of his players. But I mean, he's got him thinking the right way. He's got him playing the right way. He's doing a great job.
Wellington Castillo came over in a deal involving Mark Trumbo from Seattle. Of course, used to be with the Cubs for a number of years. And they are raving about what this guy's doing with the bat, hitting .259 but 11 home runs. And he's 8 for his last 19. One for 3 career with an RBI against Fister. Short lead by Peralta, and a bouncing ball right side. Rendon, Desmond, and a perfect 4-6-3 for the Nationals' 78th double play.
Well, that's 4 ground balls from Doug Fister in the first 5 hitters. The only non-ground ball was a strikeout to start this game. So the sinker's sinking. He's incorporating his infield, and he gets a nice 4-6-3 double play. Good feed from Rendon, right on the money. A little bit of time with the Diamondbacks catcher running. And nicely done. Diamondbacks beating it into the ground. That means it's moving.
There's infielder Jake Lamb. Fister right in there with a strike. 279. Seattle native, went to the University of Washington. Diamondbacks 6th rounder just 3 years ago.
Good changeup.
Picking right up where Doug left off in Miami last week. 2 runs on 4 hits and 6 solid innings. A 7-2 Nats win. Walk 1, struck out 4. Two and 2. Mets underway at Miami. It's Bartolo Colon and Tom Kohler down there tonight.
Well, Dan reported before Doug's last start that he's working on a stiff front side. And when he talks about that, it means landing on his leg, his stride leg, and staying tall and not collapsing, get underneath the ball, and using his 6'6" frame to get that downward angle and get the sink on the pitches. And if you watch him right there, you can kind of see it.
Swing and a foul tip. A little zip on that heater tonight, too. So 6 batters, a hit, a double play, 2 strikeouts. That beat front side looking good.
On top of it, good sink. Thanks for coming.
To watch a ball game on a night like this. Here's our Honda do-up for the Nats. Bottom of the second. Ryan Zimmerman did some damage in that Arizona series. Clint Robinson, playing time curtailed now, but he was a great Nat during the month of July. And Ian Desmond, this year he's hit 11 home runs, 6 of them here. Ryan 5 for 23 since coming off the DL. And just 1 for 12 in New York with a base on balls.
Well, there's different routes to the postseason, and Nats fans have seen the route where you run away with the division, how that works out. And we all saw what happened last year with the postseason, the wild card. So I'm kind of digging the playoff race, and that the Mets are in it, and that there's going to be meaningful games, and you have to grind every single night, and you can't win a division by 17 games. We talk about enjoying the ride all the time. Well, this might be a different ride, and I think it's great. I mean, there's 2 months of baseball left, and this is going to be fun. The Mets aren't going anywhere. You're going to have to play intense baseball every single night for 2 months to win your division. And what's not to like about that? I mean, there's different ways to get to where you want to go, and it's not always win it by 20 games and run away. And I mean, quite honestly, they might have lost some momentum because they clinched so early last year. And then the layoff between having the best record, the Cardinals have the best record in the National League. They could be 3-0 this year. So who knows? I mean, all that stuff's overrated. How you playing at the end and getting into the dance, however you get in there, there's different ways.
2-2 to Ryan. Zimmerman, a foul tip. Holding on was Castillo, and Zach Godley has his 12th big league strikeout.
Come out to Nats Park on Friday, August 7th. There are going to be some fireworks. 7:05 start. Freedom Fireworks presented by Kellogg's. Enjoy a performance from the United States Navy Ceremonial Guard drill team to kick off the display. You know the drill. For information, go to nationals.com.
You know, adding to your playoff thoughts, or getting to the playoff thoughts, the fact that in the NL East it could become an all or nothing thing, because unless the Nats and the Mets really have great second halves, there could be 2 or 3 teams out of the Central, and you might not go to the playoffs at all if you don't win this division.
Right.
So plenty of motivation to win the division, but your point well taken about 17 winning, clinching 2.5 weeks before the playoffs arrive.
I just remember 2010 doing the radio show in San Francisco. The Giants lost 8 in a row, and I took calls all night long about fire Bruce Bochy and how he was the worst manager ever, and they ended up winning the World Series that year. So I mean, you could get caught up in the moment, but if you look at the big picture, do they need to do some things better? Yeah, so do a lot of teams, but I think it's going to be fun, and I'm looking forward to it.
Robinson 282 his last 43 games. Godley with some nasty down and in stuff to the left-handed batter. The guy who came into this season with 3 big league hits now has 50 this year. Oh, there goes the bat. Look out. That thing's about 10 rows up from the home plate end of the dugout. So on the strikeout. That's number 2 for Godley. Everybody looks like they're okay down there.
Everybody's okay. Pretty solid bat toss by Clint Robinson. Good distance.
Ian Desmond with 2 outs.
But get used to the West. The Nats play 17 straight games against the National League West starting tonight. 17 straight.
And they've only played 13 all year. And the Nats have done well against the West. 9-4. Swept the Giants. 3 out of 4 against the Padres. 2 out of 3 against these D-backs. Yet to meet the Rockies, who will be here this weekend. This is a 4-game set, with a 4 o'clock game on Thursday, and then Colorado. Then that road trip to Dodger Stadium at AT&T Park before the Nats go to Coors Field. 2 balls, 1 strike. Godley keeping the ball down. His breaking stuff really moving. 25 years of age, from Bamberg, South Carolina. Came in a trade for the Cubs involving Miguel Montero. Desmond locked up and he strikes out. Strikes out the side, and there he goes, sprinting to his dugout after a 1-2-3 bottom of the second.
Pitchers like Doug Fister to repeat their mechanics because they're longer. Their delivery isn't as compact as some of the shorter guys. For Fister, that hasn't been a problem in much of his career. This year, though, it was more of a struggle for him mechanically to get things consistent. But recently, he feels like he's made progress in that regard, especially in his last outing. He felt he had much better downward movement on the ball. His mechanics were more consistent from pitch to pitch. And so far tonight, guys, he's gotten that downward movement, a lot of ground balls, some more consistent, solid mechanics from Doug Fister early on tonight.
Thank you, Dan. And when you're talking cars, you're talking Coons. On the heels of Dan's sideline report from Coons, a line drive to Michael A. Taylor. 1 pitch, 1 out. So 7 outs on 23 pitches to start Doug's evening here at home.
That's why you always see the shorter armed hitters are the better hitters. You know, guys with the longer limbs, long arm guys have trouble repeating their swing, have trouble staying short and compact with their swing from a hitting standpoint. But even a guy like Paul Goldschmidt, look at him. He's, you know, put together. His arms are shorter. Bryce Harper, same way. You look at all the best hitters in baseball. Very rarely do you see a tall guy with a high average, just because it's hard to repeat your mechanics. So same goes for hitting, is what Dan just talked about in pitching.
Nick Ahmed, the shortstop, spun out of there. 25-year-old Massachusetts native who went to UConn. This guy's a really good shortstop, struggling with the bat right now at 221. He's 2 for 13 on their road trip and 4 for his last 20.
But he can really flat out pick it at short. He's one of the better defenders in baseball at shortstop, and he'll probably show you in these 4 games.
Very impressed with his defense when the Nats were at Chase Field. Hitting in front of the pitcher, Godley. Fister missing inside again, 3-0.
Remember the days when shortstops were just paid to pick it? Just make the plays. If you hit it, was a bonus at that position.
Right.
Belanger, Ozzie Smith, until he hit better toward the end of his career.
That ball is well hit. Heading towards the bullpen and out of here. Nick Ahmed with his 7th of the year. Fister gives up his 10th, and the Diamondbacks are on top. How about that, turning the number 8 hitter loose with the count way in his favor.
Yeah, barreled this ball up, so he's more than just a defensive shortstop. When you got double digits and you're swinging the bat like that, that's a Bolt putting his ball club up 1-0.
Zach Godley 0 for 2 as a big league hitter.
Well, it looks like the ball's carrying a little better than you thought. Rendon just got that ball off the sweet spot to left. Escobar hit that ball hard to right, and you're thinking, okay, ballpark's playing a little bigger tonight.
2 outs on Fister's third strikeout. First time through the lineup. Diamondbacks go 2 for 7. Pardon me, 2 for 9. 7 retired.
So solo home run, not a big deal. Comes right back in the strike zone. Nice sinker to the opposing pitcher. Stuff's good from Fister. He's fine. Anytime you see all the ground ball outs, you know it's going to be a good night for Doug Fister. It's just up to the offense to see if they can figure out a guy they never faced before.
Pitcher strikes out pitcher on the Mercedes-Benz pitch track. And here's Ender Inciarte, who struck out looking first time. Escobar respecting his speed on the grass at third.
Went to that front hip sinker to strike him out first time up. See if he goes back to it here with 2 strikes.
Had him way out ahead with 73. Oh, 2 pitch. Out of play. Oh, 2 pitch, and that one well off the plate inside to Ender Inciarte.
Little purpose to that. Get him off the plate. Now maybe try to bring one back the other way with a sinker right here. See if he tries. Not going outside.
And he buries the 1 and 2 pitch, counts even. Well, the Mets just got 3 in the second inning of Miami. Michael Conforto, who the Nats really didn't see at all during that weekend series, hit a 3-run homer. That ball on a reaching swing stroked out to left. Clint Robinson there to grab it. And that's it for Arizona in the top of the third. So Nick Ahmed's 7th homer of the year puts the D-backs on top. He's retired 6 in a row. Ramos, Taylor, Pfister coming up. Since the All-Star break, it's been a struggle. The Nats have won only 6 of 16. The runs down in that dangerous just over 3 runs a game. NFP, that's one of the lowest figures in all of baseball. Batting average .212.
They've faced a few good chunkers in there, though.
They have.
Dodgers, Mets twice, and seeing the Mets top 3 guys twice.
Pittsburgh.
Garrett Cole, A.J. Burnett, who they hit well. So you go through streaks like that. The schedule gets you. I don't care what anybody says. Yeah, you got to find a way. Yeah, you have to find a way to win those games. But those guys are getting paid a lot of money to get hitters out. So you're hoping that changes.
Ramos on a busted bad grounder to Aaron Hill. 7 straight Nats down to start the game. Michael A. Taylor next. Michael probably as happy as anybody to get out of New York. In that series, he was 0 for 10 with 9 strikeouts.
Well, remember the Grand Tater, the Grand Slam, the Michael A. Tater, the big one in Arizona after Bryce Harper got ejected. His spot came up in a key situation in the top of the 9th inning, and Michael Taylor propelled his club to victory off the bench. It was one of the moments of the year.
Yeah, with 1 out, Span singled. Escobar hit one to left. Jason Worth walked, and Michael A. in his first at bat after replacing Bryce, straightaway center field. And this ball in the air to right for Ender Inciarte. That's 8 straight.
National season plan holders can renew their plans for 2016 right now. Season plan holders who renew by August 31st can also secure an extra 2015 postseason ticket. Visit nationals.com/renew for all your renewal and postseason ticket details.
Doug Pfister, 6 hits on the year. Right on the outside edge.
Pretty good hack. He's looked hitterish all year. First baseman in college at Fresno State. Guy that knows how to swing the bat. He's hitting .231. Pinch hit single off the bench.
That's right. Taking care of business. Zach Godley, 4 Ks. Homestand, first 3 innings. A very quiet start for the Nats bats.
Astros Ice Bucket Challenge. Nationals now challenge Los Angeles Angels.
Jenna Roark and his wife. Danny Espinosa, his wife. Look at the closed eyes on Danny's wife. Waiting, waiting. There's no way you can be ready for that, right?
No.
You can close your eyes and hold your breath, but how could you possibly get ready?
Just wearing it.
15 new cases of ALS diagnosed each day. No known cure. Please join the ALS Association. Major League Baseball, all 30 teams in the Ice Bucket Challenge during August. To learn more, visit alsicebucketchallenge.org. Follow the Nats on Facebook and Twitter to see Nats players participate in the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. Well done, ladies. And also Tanner and Danny. Top of the fourth inning, A.J. Pollock, the center fielder.
I think you should have to do that when it's below 40.
A swing? No, says Mark Carlson. Counts even 1-1. Pollock, a bouncing ball to Ian Desmond first time. 41 pitches, 29 strikes for Doug Fister, first 3 innings. Target in. It's way in there. And Pollock nearly hit.
Boy, he's hanging tough to cover the outside part of the plate, and I don't think Pollock realized there was that much run in that pitch from Fister. This almost got him right in the face. Look how close that is. That is a close shave. Right over his right shoulder. Pretty good idea by Fister and a smart move to go the other side of the plate because you knew he wasn't going to dive out there after that pitch.
Counts 2-2 now. Up the middle, a base hit. Second inning out of 4, the Diamondbacks have put their leadoff man on. This team can swing the bats. So 3 more games in this series against Arizona. Max Scherzer and Patrick Corbin tomorrow. Gio and Ruby De La Rosa Wednesday. Day game 4 o'clock Thursday. Joe Ross and Jeremy Hellickson. Then the Rockies are in for 3. You're looking at 2 of them. Yeah, 1 more game other than the ones you see. And then we bid you adieu for another week-and-a-half road trip.
Fister the right guy to pitch against the Diamondbacks in the sense that they run a lot. Their first 3 hitters have 50 stolen bases between, and Pollock has 23 on first. Goldschmidt has 17 in the box, and Inciarte has 10. But Doug Fister's tough to steal on. Teams usually don't even try to steal off of Doug Fister because he's so quick to the plate.
That's a pretty short lead by a guy with 23 steals.
I'm trying to think. Somebody had the first stolen base off Doug since 2012 this year. And I want to say it was somebody from the Padres. I want to say it was. I'm not guessing.
Drew Fister put that throw right into the runner.
Are you looking at your scoreboard?
Yeah, I'm looking at his game in San Diego. And it must have been when the Padres were here. So let's check out July 1st.
I want to say Dexter Fowler. Just random guess. On air, throwing myself under the bus. I think he plays for the Astros, so that's no good.
It was Cameron Maben of the Braves on July 1st.
I always get those two mixed up.
Well, Maben was a Padre.
But the point is, people don't even try.
2 balls, 1 strike. And a little pop-up right off to the right by the big slugger Paul Goldschmidt. A guy like this leading the league, or at least near the top of the league in some power categories. He has 126 hits, the 4th most in all of baseball, and he leads the National League. Matt Williams said today he's so aware of hitting situations, steps into the box and know exactly what he needs to do to help his ball club. And that doesn't always include hitting one 400 feet. I mean, you love it when it happens. But this guy, as good a big man situational hitter as there is.
But watch the swing. There's no holes in it. What do I mean by that? There's no stride. And watch the fastball in. He just pulls his hands in and fouls it off. That's what the great hitters do. No holes in his swing means everybody has a hole. They slider in, fastball in. Somewhere in their swing where you can get them out, you go to the hole.
This one playable for Ryan Zimmerman. So Doug Fisher's done a good job on Goldschmidt. Grounder to short, foul out to first. 1 out, 4th inning.
But the good hitters, Carp, they don't have a hole in their swing, and if they do, it's a tiny one where, you know, Barry Bonds, it was like right up underneath his hands. If you could get a fastball at the top of the zone under his hands, it was one of the only places he couldn't hit a baseball. And with Goldschmidt, he's the same way. He covers the plate. He covers all pitches. And it's because he has no stride. His head is still, and he keeps his hands inside the baseball. So he's a tough out. That's a great pitch by Pfister right there. Probably the only place.
In the air, deep left center. Taylor going back, and it's over the wall. It's a homer. David Peralta, 10th of the year. 3-0. Looked like Michael A. Taylor thought all along he was going to catch it. Got over the wall before he could get out there.
Ball's flying here tonight.
That's a ball on the other side of the fence, covered by that padding.
I watched the Diamondbacks batting practice today, and Peralta was hitting the same group with Goldschmidt, and Peralta put on more of a display than Goldschmidt. Goldschmidt was just working the ball around, kind of getting his hands in that ball just out of the reach of Michael Taylor. But Peralta was hitting home runs to left, into the bullpen, upper deck and right, straightaway center, so some pop from David Peralta right there. Put his ball club up by 3.
They've hit 92 home runs on the year now, and they lead 3-0, out hitting the Nationals 4-0. Peralta's RBI total shoots up to 50. This is a guy who used to be a pitcher.
Yeah.
He was in the St. Louis organization 05 to 07. That ball hammered by Wellington Castillo. And the Diamondbacks are putting on some kind of show. 4-0.
Literally a show. Did you see the bat flip from Wellington Castillo? Wow.
That's his 12th of the year.
That was an epic bat flip. Twelfth home run of the year, got all this one. Elevated fastball, and knew he got it as soon as he hit it. Let the bat go and put his club up by 4. Yeah, it's a far one.
Here's Mike Lamb. 3rd inning last night in New York. 4th inning here tonight. Big flies, big innings. So Doug Fister had given up 9 home runs in 80 innings, and tonight he's given up 3 in 3 1/3.
A little pep talk for me and Desmond. I like it.
Strike call. It's 2-1. This one to the right side for Anthony Rendon. 2 outs.
So you always draw that line in Doug Fister's start on where he has to be below to be successful. He's been down there for the most part tonight, but the couple of mistakes he's made, he's paid for dearly. That pitch right there to Lamb was down. We'll show you the home run pitch first. I'll usually draw it like right in here. That's where he's successful, maybe a little bit low. And look where this one is in the late movement. So when you're throwing 86 to 88, it's so imperative for Fister to get the ball down and to have that late movement, which he's had for the most part tonight. The few mistakes he's made, he's paid for.
Aaron Hill scorched it first time. A line drive straightaway center, leading off the 3rd, caught by Taylor. And this one out to center, drifting toward the opposite side. Michael A. right there. Big inning for the D-backs with a Pollock single. Homers by Peralta and Castillo. It's 4-0. I mean, a great start, and he's usually the best finisher. Can anybody catch him? Down the stretch, he's been caught by Calvin, and Coolidge holds off Lincoln.
Simon Cal with the W.
He's looking tanned and young and fit.
He is. Had a couple weeks off to train.
Hey, if you raced against guys over 100 years older than you, you'd probably beat some of them too.
That's right. I could beat a few dead guys.
I'm not sure I could. All right, say it.
There goes a no-hitter. And second time around against a guy they never faced before, they should have a better idea. You know, Escobar's seen 2 pitches, but he's figured them out.
So 9 straight to start the game for Zach, who was ungodly in those first 3 innings. What a night for Rendon.
Yeah, first time up. Was it a home run? Was it a double? They look at the replay and realize that it hit the black part behind the fence, so a double extended it to a tater. There it is, homer.
Anthony's so distraught out at second, waiting for that call.
Well, he knew he could see it.
Fly ball pretty well hit to left center tonight, caught. Ball 1.
This is Godley's 6th start above Class A in his career. He started the year in the California League. In his 3rd major league start.
He won his first 8 games with Visalia, lost a couple, then won 3 more. Pretty soon he found himself at AA Mobile. It is unusual for that to happen with pitchers. But right now, for a young pitcher with great stuff.
Well, I always say first time around, I'm figuring you out. You can have me first time. I'll tip my cap. I don't care. I'll gladly go 0 for 1 to go 2 for 3 against you if I see some of your pitches. Like I said, recon mission first time around. You can watch all the video you want. So you see it come out of his hand. You're standing there 60 feet 6 inches away. You're trying to figure him out. They're still trying to figure him out. Just down by 4, and it's go time right here, second time around.
In there. You know, but for young pitchers, Diamondbacks, an organization of opportunity. One of their brightest prospects, Archie Bradley, on the DL now with right shoulder tendonitis. This ball club, this organization, looks like it's got a lot of upside as they look down the road.
Position player wise, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, Bob Henley, do it. He's a catcher. He catches things. That's what catchers do. They catch, and he caught it. Now he's just putting on a sign with his right hand that's probably burning when he hit his helmet. He's all playing it off like he's Joe Cool down there. But that sign, there was pain in delivering that sign to Anthony Rendon, trust me.
I've got that at 62 miles an hour when he caught it.
Yeah,
maybe harder.
What was the hit speed on that?
3-2 to Rendon. Anthony strokes one to right. Chance to fall. It will. In front of Inciarte, who's got a gun, and he just threw out Escobar. That's the Diamondbacks' best outfield arm, and Inciarte gets a 9-6 force play at second.
Well, you know, Escobar goes belt buckle to baseball, and he got far enough. I mean, he couldn't get any further than that. I mean, it's one of those tricky plays for a base runner. You have to get farther enough to advance to second base. He was halfway when it dropped. He just kind of lost his momentum. But pre-pitch preparation, if you check your outfield after every pitch, the great base runners know off the bat if a ball is going to fall. And he might have turned his back and not lost the ball a little bit too soon right there. Easy to tell from up here it was going to drop. Maybe not as easy down there.
Yeah. And I got to tell you, from up here, it took a while for us to figure it out.
Right.
So here's Harper, 1 on, 1 out. Bryce base hit right field. Inciarte is going to charge, and Rendon has to stop at second. So the Nats get their second base hit, and it's come real close to being 3 in a row.
Now, so better idea second time around. Good at bat by Bryce Harper. Line moves to Ryan Zimmerman. Could have an insta game right here with one swing.
Yep. Ryan looking for his 50th base hit of the year. So good early in the season, despite not batting for high average, but driving in runs. Nationals Park, first time the Nats have been here in about 12 days. BCFP DK here on Masson, 4-0 Arizona on homers by Ahmed, Peralta, and Castillo. Nats trying to battle back here in the bottom of the fourth.
Rendon trying to get a walking lead. He was thinking about going.
Inside edge. Zimmerman didn't like the call. Nodded his head, but I don't think he likes it.
He turned to Brian Gorman and said, "This is not my third major league start."
Well, I thought it was interesting in New York, not making big time excuses, but I didn't know that those 3 young pitchers have been around long enough to get a Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine strike zone throughout that series. We saw a lot of pitches off the plate.
They had good stuff
that
too.
were called for strikes.
It wasn't because of the umpires. They had good stuff.
No, I didn't say it was. I'm just saying I thought they got excessive help. And those guys
Jerry
are not
Meals
the kind of guys who need it.
To your point, Jerry Meals had a rough night. There's no doubt about it.
That ball well hit, but Zimmerman knows it's foul.
I wonder if they know.
I don't know. I don't know if they go back and look at replays and all that.
I know when I stutter through a broadcast, I go home and beat myself up. I know when I was 0 for 4, 3 strikeouts, I wouldn't talk to the family for a couple days. I wonder if umpires do the same thing when they're driving home. Like, I was brutal tonight. Hi, honey. How'd it go? That was brutal. I called about 16 balls, strikes. I don't know. My head just wasn't in it. It got to be, right? It's just being human. You think.
No, you want to be your best. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Zimmerman. That's in there. Ryan walks away, 2 outs.
Started right at him, came back. Front door cutter. Check out the sequence. From Godley to Zimmerman. That one way off the plate. That one, too, called a strike. And the cutter down and away. And then right at him came back for strike 3. Pretty good pitch by the young right-hander.
Was the Mercedes-Benz pitch sequence there.
And I always wondered if the other 3 guys in the locker room after were like,
one of those quiet locker rooms.
You know? How'd I do tonight, guys? Oof. Good.
Well, one of the best in the business behind the plate tonight.
We're going to go grab a beer. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah. Come along if you want.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to be the fly on the wall in the umpire's clubhouse after a game just to see how they do it. I think that series there, that when they mic them up for the World Series, is fantastic. One of the best shows MLB does every year. It's called the Third Team, I believe.
Two and 0. Long inning for Godley, who had thrown only 29 pitches in 3 innings. Nats have him up to number 45 coming. Looking for a big 2-out RBI knock. Ball skips in, kept close by Castillo.
Yes, yes, and yes to the green light question. Let it rip.
On the edge, 3-1.
That's a 3-0 automatic strike.
Yeah, that's not exactly a right down the middle automatic one. Wow. He walked him, and the bases are loaded for Ian Desmond.
See, what Clint Robinson did right there is more telling than any hitter turning around and arguing with the umpire. When it's ball 4 as a hitter and you're not sure of the strike zone, you know it's a ball, but you have to sit there and wait for a second just to make sure. That tells everybody all they need to know about hitters' confidence in a floating strike zone that's not consistent.
So Brian Gorman, 33-year veteran, coming out to break things up. Mike Harkey, the Arizona pitching coach, has completed his visit, and now the rookie put to the test. He carved up Ian Desmond pretty well first time up with some nasty breaking balls blown away. So we'll see what Ian was able to pick up from that AB, ending the second. Great career numbers with the bases loaded, Ian Desmond. Big gap in right center. Left a lot of stuff behind to get up there with the bases loaded. There are those career numbers. .412 the batting average.
I like that he's staying in his zone. He's got a game plan. He's sticking to it. He's committed to it right here. That was a borderline pitch that was hittable, and he took it for ball 2. Count leverage, see if he gets his pitch right here. Put a good swing on it, see what happens.
Two and 0, and that one sliding under his bat.
He was thinking, I'm hitting this off the Capitol building, and just got underneath it.
Way outside, ball 3.
It's a good at-bat in the sense that Ian Desmond's realizing the pressure's on a young pitcher in his 3rd major league start. I got a 4-run lead, bases loaded, I'm on the road, the crowd's getting into it, I'm having trouble throwing strikes. You want to get back in this ball game. This is a huge pitch.
And a two-hopper to the shortstop. Ball breaking down and away. Desmond goes 6-3. Nats strand their first 3 of the night in a 4-0 game.
Joining us first, Nick Ahmed in the 3rd, hit his 7th of the year. David Peralta, his 10th. The other way, good effort by Michael Taylor, just out of his reach. And then Wellington Castillo with his 12th home run of the year. And that's where we're at, 4-0 Diamondbacks. Castillo's a 2-run, or Peralta's a 2-run shot. Castillo's solo.
Nats made Godley throw 23 pitches in that 4th inning. Couldn't break through, and here's Nick Ahmed, who hit that first home run, 1 out, 3rd inning. .99 on a warm night. It reached well into the bullpen.
Good pitch, good spot, down the way. Pull side home run, gets a fastball in the outer half next time up.
And the 2-2. Right side, well placed. Nick Ahmed, the number 8 hitter, 2 for 2.
It's time for you to tweet your strongest fan photo using hashtag NatsCouchGab. Maybe you can send us a rally photo tonight. You never know. And you must just see yourself in an upcoming broadcast that's brought to you by T-Mobile. A T-Mobile guy, they do a great job.
Godley, strikeout. He's 0 for 3 as a big league hitter. Looking to bunt. Ball got away. Wilson Ramos able to spot it. A lot of traffic in there, and Nick Ahmed not able to spot the baseball.
That's why I like a guy with good wheels hitting eighth. It's so much easier for the pitcher to bunt him over. I mean, basically, it's all you have to do is make the first bounce be in the dirt. That's it. It doesn't have to be directional. And you get a slow guy in first. Now you got to have a perfect bunt. Bunt it to first softly. A lot more pressure on the pitcher.
2-0. Diamondbacks have 6 base hits. And that one laid down foul.
It's a good tip for you younger players, too. You know, bunting's not easy. And if it's a big situation and you're nervous, if you got a fast runner on first base, you shouldn't be. Your bunt doesn't have to be perfect. Now, if you got a slow runner on first base, now you have to be a little more fine with your bunt. But always look who's running. Realize who's running, and that should dictate where you bunt the baseball and how exact you are with the bunt.
That's a good one.
Perfect.
Pfister pouncing. Throws on to Rendon. 1-4 on the sacrifice. Well executed by Godley, his first in the big leagues.
Pretty good crowd.
Yeah, I'd say in the area of 30,000, maybe 32, 33. Welcoming the guys back. Right now it's going to have to be a comeback. Here's Enciarte, who has struck out looking and hit a fly ball to Robinson and left.
I'll bet you $20 it's between 35 and 40,000 tonight.
What is this, DraftKings attendance guess?
Just saying. Between 35 and 40,000. $20. You on?
No.
No?
No, I was told one time, never gamble during a telecast.
Well, that's no fun.
On the inside edge, 1-2.
Well, the joke is between 35 people. That's how you win that bet.
Okay.
Which I've lost that a couple times.
Is that kind of like the capital of Kentucky joke? Out of play, left side. And Doug on 0-2 takes off speed in the dirt, buried it down there. That's into right field. Harper charging. They will hold the runner. Andy Green, the third base coach, putting the stop sign up for Ahmed as Bryce charged that ball well. First and third, 1 out.
Andy Green didn't even hesitate. He had the stop sign up as soon as his ball was hit. He knew that Bryce Harper was charging hard, has a great arm, an accurate arm, but a nice bat by Ender Enciarte. Nice at bat. You see Green? No. We're not running here. Let the line move to A.J. Pollock.
Yeah, one of their best hitters. And of course, Pollock hitting in front of Goldschmidt. So stopping the runner could get the inning to your big slugger as well. Doug looking to get a ball on the ground here, and that's low and away. Pollock has bounced into a team most 12 double plays this year.
It's pretty shocking for a center fielder that runs well.
He must hit it awfully hard when he hits it at somebody.
Well, their infield is one of the fastest in baseball.
True.
I would say in the National League, Atlanta and Arizona, just based on looking at them and standing on it a few times.
Getting into that twilight time here at the ballpark, which is now about 20 or 30 minutes earlier than it was at the height of summer and the length of days into the month of August. Ciarte has stolen 10 bases, but he's been caught 6 times. The Diamondbacks have their 2 best hitters in the batter's box and on deck.
Like a good speed at first. A guy that handles the bat in the batter's box and a strike thrower, if you thinking about hitting and running, this is a good time.
Yeah, hit and run count. Runner staying, ball 3.
You don't see that very often anymore, do you?
Not as much as previously.
5 times maybe I've seen a hit and run this whole season from either ball club. You just get 3-1, 3-2, send them, and the guys swing and put the ball in play. But you never see the 1-0, the 0-0, the 2-1 hit and run where you have to swing at the pitch and the guy's stealing.
Into right. Bryce Harper camping under it. Here comes the forward momentum, and here comes the runner. Throw is off to the side, and it looked like Ahmed would have beaten it anyway. Both runners move up, and it's 5-0 Arizona. And we'll see if they walk Goldschmidt with first base open.
Well, you see Bryce Harper getting behind it. I don't think he timed this as well as he really wanted to. And by timing it, I mean his momentum going toward home plate and catching it on the run. You see him have to stutter step because he was too far underneath it. So then he lost that momentum going to home and messed up his timing. That's why he kind of pulled it across. But he knew that he had a good runner at third base and he had to be quick. It would have taken an amazing throw to get him.
5-0 Arizona. All those runs in the last 3 innings. Goldschmidt has grounded to short and popped up foul to first. Tanner Roark up and throwing. The Nats long man. Doug Fister's batting spot comes up third, bottom of this inning.
Pretty good numbers. 2 outs, runners in scoring position, 444.
Wow.
That's something where he had the highest batting average in baseball with 2 outs. 399, 61 for 153 with 2 outs this year. First in all of baseball.
400 with runners in scoring position. Only McCutchen's better than that. And the Nats get him looking.
Reverse jinxed him.
End of the 5th, but the D-backs pick up another run, and now we'll soon find out if Doug Fister is done for the night.
Just how much the Nationals missed Denard Span, who is out with back spasms. But from a statistical standpoint as well, the Nationals really miss their leadoff hitter and their center fielder. We're going to show you a few categories in which the Nationals are much better with Span in the lineup this year than without him. Runs per game, the record obviously pretty high with him in there. Team average, on base percentage, they really miss him in a number of areas. Clint Robinson today told me that Span's a game changer. They need him in the lineup. And the good news is with Span, he's making slight progress. Did another workout on the field today. The Nationals hope to have him go through a live BP within the next couple days. They're really looking forward to having him back, guys. Everyone in that clubhouse knows how much he changes things for this ball club.
Absolutely huge. Thanks, Dan.
Yeah, he makes him go. We've said that for a couple of years now. He makes the offense go.
And you face mostly right-handed pitching. So on many nights, now that Worth is back, Bryce Harper's going it alone as a left-handed batter in this lineup. And you could use another guy like Span leading off, making things happen. And Denard, just that's his role. He knows what he has to do, and he knows how to do it. 1 ball, 1 strike to Ramos. He had a bouncing ball to second his first time up. Wilson Ramos is 0 for his last 17 and 1 for 24. Taylor to follow, and then the number 9 spot. Counts even 2-2. Well, Godley got out of a long 4th inning. We'll see how the rookie takes it from there.
Boy, if he ever played for the Mets or the Yankees, the tabloids would have so much fun with his name in the headlines.
And Ramos, a couple of hops out to the shortstop, Nick Ahmed. Moment in history brought to you by University of Maryland, University College. On this date, just 2 years ago, Max Scherzer off to a 16-1 start for the Tigers. 3 pitchers in 44 years with Clemens 14 years ago, and way back to the 60s for the Orioles, Dave McNally. Wow. 16-1.
He's showing you a grip on a baseball. Always thinking about new ways.
That's a swing by Michael A. Taylor, who needs a knock right now, about as bad as anybody in the lineup.
Talk about a cutter. Just getting the fingers on the outside of the ball and letting it cut. Guaranteed.
Max against his first big league team.
Curveball
tomorrow.
See, snap, curveball.
Taylor rips one into left. He'll hustle to the bag and around it. The Nats have their 3rd base hit, and that gives Doug Fister a chance to walk to the plate and at least get a guy in scoring position here.
Good swing by Michael Taylor. Got a little cutter. And maybe that's what they were talking about, the Zach Godley cutter. They're probably hearing about it in the dugout. And Fister and Zimmerman talking about it, or Scherzer and Zimmerman talking about it.
Taylor first hit since his last time up against the Marlins on Thursday. He had 2 hits and a walk in that game, including a bunt. Doug takes a stab at it and misses. Fister 4 sacrifice bunts on the year. And he went reaching for that pitch. That looked pretty well outside. Now it's 0-2.
Jake Lamb is right in his face. Yeah, they're talking about a curveball right there. And if you know why I know, I spent my whole career in the dugout. It's the only place I know anything about. Never on the field, just in the dugout.
You used to listen to pitchers, did you?
Yeah.
Pick up hitting, maybe a little thing or two by listening to how guys try to get guys out.
Max Scherzer has helped Bryce Harper so much this year by just telling him how he would pitch him, how guys are going to pitch him because of who he is, and that he's not going to see a fastball and a fastball count. This is how I would throw you. And they're talking about different pitches and grips and all that stuff. It's good. I mean, they're talking baseball. I love it. It's good stuff, guys.
Pfister lays one down. Castillo. And how about a call at second base? I guess Gabe Morales called Taylor out. And then they turn it into a double play. I thought that was a big-time risk in a 5-run game by Wellington Castillo.
Yeah, good point.
Almost pulling his guy off the bag.
Very good point by you, Carp. We'll see if he got him at second base. Matt Williams looking at the telephone. Randy Knorr on it. Are they going to challenge? Still waiting. See, this is where I think take your time. There's no hurry. Walk out there. Ask the umps how, their weekend was. Whatever. And look at the replay 400 times in the clubhouse. And I think
Randy said something.
They're going to take a peek at it. So just so you know, well, let's make sure they're looking at it first.
I would have to think it's the play at second. But they're calling the first base umpire, Mark Carlson, down.
Is he asking for help before he challenges?
Looks like it.
No, he's off.
He's off the bag there.
He's definitely off, and they should challenge that. Oh, that's what they're. Which one are they challenging? Or are they challenging them both?
Could they both be safe?
This could be a super duper double secret challenge.
And I was watching Gabe Morales, the second base umpire. He stared at the second base bag, and I never saw him make a call.
So if you're wondering, there's two crews in New York right now. Crew A is Jim Joyce's crew. Crew B is Jerry Meals' crew. So I don't know which one is reviewing this play, but we have the crews who are looking at this in New York. Jim Joyce's crew is Greg Gibson, Sam Holbrook, Clip Fagan, and Jerry Meals is Paul Emmel, Andy Fletcher, and Todd Tishner.
The crowd just saw the play on the scoreboard, and they reacted as if they think both runners are safe.
So is this one challenge? Two plays?
It's part of the same play.
It's all the same play, right? So he's off here. This is plain as day. Watch his foot. They're challenging both. So he's off. So Taylor's safe. That one's pretty easy, right?
Because remember, the ball's got to be in the pocket of the glove. None of this inside the web stuff anymore. This could really be interesting.
Let me see this angle. This will show it. What do you got? That one's closer. And as we've seen in the past, it's got to be obvious. So that one's obvious. If they call him out, I'll be shocked.
But again, I am really surprised that Wellington Castillo, up by 5 runs, didn't just go ahead and take the sure out. If they blow this and allow both runners to reach, you're talking about the top of the order coming up. And 5 runs is 5 runs, but you could bite into it a lot quicker now.
See down here, it should say on the bug, it should say 2.5 outs.
Or with a question mark, 3 outs. This will be interesting. I would imagine they'll point to one bag, give the signal, and then point to the next bag and give the signal.
So you got to have enough evidence to overturn. Plenty of evidence to overturn at second. Sort of kind of enough evidence if you're a Nats fan or in the first base dugout to overturn at first. And you want that call if you're in the third base dugout. So I don't know how that one's going to go.
Well, it looks like the Nats either way will have a runner in scoring position, but they'd love to have 2 men on base. This is taking a while. Doug Pfister over by the bag with Tony Tarasco. Michael A. Taylor out at the second base bag. He had left the bag and then was waved back by the dugout to go stand on it again.
And good hustle by Pfister. Nothing new. He always runs down the line hard.
Here they go.
What do we got? Multiple calls coming, folks.
Second base safe. First base out.
Yeah. I think that's right.
So it'll be 1-6, and we'll have to check to see who was covering first.
Do I think he was safe at first? Yes. Was there enough evidence to overturn the call at first? Totally different story. Totally different story. Safe there, right? Foot off the bag. It's a no-brainer. This one, I thought he was safe, but is there enough evidence to overturn it? And that's what it comes down to. Oh, I don't know. When you see Aaron Hill's glove close, I think Pfister's foot was already on the base. Maybe we could look at that last one again if we get a pitch and get a chance. You know, Escobar swung at the first pitch both times tonight, so I don't know, but I want to focus on Hill's glove and Pfister's foot as slow as we can on that last shot.
Runner at second, 2 outs. Pfister, by the way, with the runner safe at second, gets a sacrifice for that. Escobar all locked up on an off-speed pitch.
So watch Hill's glove. So Hill's glove right here. That's the key, right? Watch his glove close. Stay with me. Watch his glove when it closes. So foot on the bag. Oh, that's just almost instantaneous, right? Same time.
Yeah.
Like I said, third base dugout, he's out. First base dugout, he's safe.
Escobar, base hit last time up. Single up the middle. That was an Nats' first hit leading off the 4th inning. They're down by 5 runs here in the 5th. No swing. Mark Carlson didn't say no, but the hitter did.
It's all you had to do is listen to Escobar. You know he didn't go.
Bob Henley's only about 50 feet from home plate. He had to get out of the way of that one coming at him. He's way down the line so Taylor can round the bag and see him.
So does Matt Williams keep his challenge?
Interesting question.
I don't know. But he got the first one right, so he keeps his challenge. The second one wrong, so does he lose his challenge? I need to know this.
It's a good question.
Because I've never seen that happen before. I remember, was it last year the Rangers and the Nats challenged the same play? I remember that.
2-2 and Escobar, an easy take for him on a ball way out in front of the plate. He's trying to get aboard here. Either that or drive in a run, or both, to get Rendon to the plate here in the 5th inning. Got him up in the zone. The Nats have stranded 4. Scoreless through 5 for Washington. D-backs have 5.
Soak your chia planter in water for 1 hour. In a separate container, mix 2 teaspoons of chia seeds and a 1/4 cup of water. Allow to sit for 1 hour, stirring mixture occasionally to moisten seeds. The seeds will form a gel-like paste, which you can smear all over Jason Worth, and it'll grow. Wednesday, August 5th, 7:05 p.m. Get your Jason Worth Chia Pet. I have mine right here, and I just read you the directions because I didn't know.
Good luck to the first person who tries to smear Jason Worth. David Peralta, base hit and a 2-run homer. The big blow of this game. Turned a 1-0 game into 3-0. Back in the 4th, and then Wellington Castillo went deep right afterwards.
We're educational broadcasts. We're here to teach. Hear about animals.
Our first craft show on Masson. I like it.
Chia Pets.
From solar outages during spring training to Chia Pets during August.
If you listen to me, how to butcher the English language, and then, you know, we know about lighting now this year. All kinds of stuff. We're very educational.
I like to learn a little bit more about offense. So Peralta has a couple of hits. So does Nick Ahmed. Each of those guys with a single and a home run. 3-2 to the leadoff hitter, top of the 6th. Got it.
Good pitch.
And Peralta knew it. Brian Gorman punches him out. Strikeout number 5 for Doug Fister.
Yeah, bottom of the zone. You see everything mostly away in the sequence. This one perfectly placed. Good frame by Ramos. So if you challenge 2 calls in the same play and get one of them right, you keep your challenge.
I think that's fair. There's Wellington Castillo, who hit the ball a long way last time, flipped his bat fair on his way down to the first base bag after his 12th home run of the year.
If you get them both wrong, you're ejected.
In the air to center. And the bat's about 10 feet out in front of home plate. Evidently, he tosses it on a regular basis.
He's a bat tosser.
2 outs, and Jake Lamb will be next.
Kidding, of course, about getting ejected. But wouldn't that be something? If you miss the challenge, you have a challenge, you miss one. You keep your challenge. But if you challenge a second time, you're ejected if you're wrong.
A tough way to get tossed. And expensive.
No fine involved. You just have to go to the clubhouse and feel shame.
Oh, 1 to Lamb, and a foul ball off to the left side. Doug Fister, 2 pitches short of 100 now. They're in the 5th inning now at Miami, and the Mets are ahead 6-0. If they start winning road games, he said, ... they're 17-32 away from Citi Field. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Nats have been in first place since the 20th of June.
Never seen Citi Field, and Terry Collins was saying after the game yesterday, he's never seen it like that in his time there. How electric it was this past weekend, and he even told the fans, "We need you. The guys need you, and to feed off you down the stretch run." So he was talking to the fans after the game, thanking them for the weekend and how into it they were.
Ball scooting foul.
Nice play.
Little kid with a cheek full of food gets the baseball.
He's got all the gear, too.
He better not be chewing.
No.
Looked like he had a plug in there, but it's probably the final parts of a hot dog. It is dollar hot dog night here. Three balls, two strikes in the sixth. Bases empty, 2 outs. 2-3-4 ahead for the Nats. Bottom of this inning. Fastball to his right. Rendon got a piece of it, but it's into center field, and Jake Lamb has his first base hit.
Pretty good effort by Anthony Rendon. Nice swing by Jake Lamb. Hit it hard up the middle. Rendon selling out. Almost got to that baseball. And it looks like it just off the tip of his glove.
Longtime Blue Jay, and now in his 4th year with the Diamondbacks, Aaron Hill. 26 home runs as recently as 3 years ago. He's hit 4 this year. 2 balls to center tonight, one a low liner. The other one a fly ball. Taylor caught both. No balls, 1 strike. Hill's hit 2 career long balls against Pfister.
Good block. Tanner Roark looks like he's ready to go, and this might be Doug Fister's last hitter.
Can't afford to fall any farther behind. 2-2 pitch. Aaron Hill's been around for a long time. First year in the big leagues, 05. When the Nats were born. Came to the D-backs in a trade with Toronto, and there's Tanner, who was up last inning. Other principals in that trade, August of 11, were John McDonald and Kelly Johnson. Pfister missing inside. And with the runner on the move, he spins a beautiful breaking ball that strikes out Aaron Hill. Anthony Rendon 0 for 2. Bryce Harper a base hit his last time up. And then Ryan Zimmerman 0 for 2. Mercedes-Benz with our game summary. Mercedes-Benz of Arlington, Mercedes-Benz of Alexandria. David Peralta, good power night. Doug Fister ties his season most in pitches with 111, and Anthony Rendon takes an off-speed pitch right in the side, and the Nats have a leadoff man aboard in the 6th inning. Their second leadoff man on tonight.
It all started with a hit by pitch. You see the curveball just got underneath it instead of on top, and when you do that, it backs up on you. Hit Anthony Rendon and a free base runner here to start the 6th.
Harper, Zimmerman, Robinson, the next 3. Diamondbacks bullpen, nobody throwing, but some guys are out there flexing and stretching. Harper's lined out hard to left and singled sharply to right.
I think we need to put some chia seeds on Bryce's face.
You tell him.
He lost his beard. He's coming back, though. He's one of those guys that'll be back in like 3 days. That's not going anywhere, ever.
He should show up with a haircut and clean shaven for Chia night.
Got a good pitch right there. That was right in his zone. Rick Sue trying to encourage him.
Nats box, Escobar. Harper hits in the 4th. Rendon dropped one into right field, but Escobar caught in no man's land on that pop fly, forced out at second. That was big. Taylor last inning. The other Nats hit. Out hit 8-3. Outscored 5-0. Two and 1. Bryce has now hit safely in 11 of his last 12 games. Mercedes-Benz on the pitch track, showing that hittable pitch number 2. Harper right side, Goldschmidt backhand to the shortstop, waits for a return throw and turns a 3-6-3. He's made 2 errors all year at first, and the Diamondbacks turn their 101st double play.
Well, here's some good news. Go ahead, Carp.
For the Achiever and you, PNC Bank, with our minor league report against the Paw Sox at Syracuse. Steven Strasburg, 5 hits, couple of runs, didn't walk anybody. Look at the strikeouts. Serious swing and miss stuff. The Nats wanted to see 85 to 90 pitches tonight from Steven, and he delivered. He looks like he's ready.
Maybe the biggest he's ready call him up ever. He's ready. Call him up.
Base is empty, 2 outs. Ryan Zimmerman has struck out swinging and looking. Jonathan Papelbon doing some short sprints.
Might need to get some work.
Yeah, Papelbon and Storen did not make 1 appearance in the New York series. After they had teamed up in Miami so well Thursday afternoon, and Drew had pitched the evening before that as well. Two to Zimmerman. And the slide piece is low. Right, and suddenly 1 for 14. Taking, knowing the Nats need base runners. Zach Godley, 25-year-old rookie, trying to go 3-0. Came in with a 2.25 ERA. He misses. So Clint Robinson gets a chance with 2 outs. That's his second walk of the night. He gave Robinson a base on balls 2 innings ago. Addison Reed He was supposed to start the season as their closer. Ran into all kind of problems. They sent him down. He came back after pitching great in the minor leagues. Right now their closer is Brad Ziegler, the sidewinder who's saved 16 in a row and 18 on the year total.
Diamondbacks are playing well. They've won 6 of 8. They had a 6-game winning streak from July 25th through the 31st. That's their longest streak since 2011. And they're 7-3 in their last 10.
Outside for a ball to Clint, who has struck out and walked. Robinson on one of those streaks as he was wrapping up his regular playing time where it seemed like he would manage at least a hit every night he played. But on the shift, they had a guy up the middle, and Nick Ahmed took care of that. I think that was 6-5 on that force. The Nats are gone. On to the 7th. By authority of the Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the expressed written consent of the Washington Nationals. Doug Fister done for the night. Tanner Roark takes over. 5 runs, 8 hits, and 6 innings for Doug. Didn't walk anybody, 6 strikeouts, a season high tying 111 pitches. And here's Tanner.
The 2-seam fastball, 4-seam fastball. He'll cut the fastball. It's been in the mid-90s out of the bullpen. 29th appearance for Tanner Roark. Slider, curveball change to go with that heater. Opponent's hitting .282 against Roark this year.
Tanner faces Nick Ahmed to lead things off. Ahmed 0 for 2 career with a strikeout against the Nats right-hander. Right up the middle. Diamondbacks' number 8 hitter is 3 for 3 tonight. He has as many hits as the Nationals do.
All right, here's your T-Mobile pitcher of the game, and it's Scott Lewis. And Scott is the guy. All 3 of those guys are Scott Lewis. Tweet your strongest fan photo at #NatsCouchCamp, and you just might see Scott Lewis's in a future broadcast. That's brought to you by T-Mobile.
This is Yasmani Tomas, heralded signing, Cuban native. And he started out the season pretty good fashion for the Diamondbacks, slumping lately but still hitting .295. the Cuban professional season is nowhere near as long as the major league season, and they just want to try to get Tomas through this at the age of 24 and see where he can go from here. So Godley will go 6. Not give the Nats a run, giving up 3 hits, walked a couple. He struck out 6 and threw 83 pitches, 48 strikes. .92 on the heater, 2-1.
You already mentioned that Tomas got benched on Saturday for not running the ball out to first base, or grounded at first base. And you got to like that Chip Hale is keeping his players accountable. He wants them all to play hard every single day, and if you don't, you come and sit next to him.
4-6-3 double play ball. Boy, Ian Desmond had to hang in there. Nick Ahmed, his counterpart, the shortstop, all over him there. And a 2-out, bases empty, 7th inning now.
Well, like I always say, if you're a middle infielder, it's fair game. Go get them, because they're going to come get you the same way. And that's a good, hard, clean slide by Ahmed right there, trying to break up the double play. And Ian Desmond doing a nice job of getting some air, something on the throw. And you see Tomas run to first base. He was getting it.
Lesson learned, huh?
Yep.
Top of the order now, Ender Inciarte. And a ball high in the air. Out toward the left center gap. Taylor a ways to go, but he's there. Grabs it short of the track. And we arrive at the 7th inning stretch. The return home not going as hoped for, but the Nats still have some time left. It's the Hyundai 7th inning stretch from Nationals Park. 6, 7, 8 coming up. Desmond, Ramos, and Taylor. Time for the bats to get real busy.
Be sure to text Madison's word of the day, hair, to 29292 for your chance to win a meet and greet with Anthony Rendon, brought to you by Hair Cutteries.
Long, beautiful hair. You all right over there? That P's on the cough switch right now, ladies and gentlemen, which is sometimes referred to as the laughter switch.
Sometimes you just can't get through them.
This is Addison Reed for the D-backs. Desmond, Ramos, Taylor, 6, 7, 8, getting very late. 86 on the slide piece, blown away.
Yeah, throws at 36% of the time. Fastball 64 at 93. Good idea by Ian Desmond, trying to get something started here in the bottom of the 7th.
26 years of age, big guy at 6'4", 232. First 3 years in the big leagues with the White Sox, and he came over in a trade December 16th of 2013. 1-7 with a 4+ ERA last year. Ian Desmond, a little half swing, and that ball's on a hop to Goldschmidt. Picked it up on the short hop for the out, unassisted. 7th inning. Wilson Ramos. So Ian Desmond now 0 for 2 against Reed, and Ramos steps in to face him for the first time. He's 0 for 2 with a pair of middle infielder grounders tonight, 1 to second, 1 to short. Fastball to the inside edge. Drew Storen. We might see Storen and Papelbon tonight. Nats, if they get a base runner, will hit for Tanner Roark. Due up 4th in this inning.
Got to give him some work.
Fastball at the knees. Reed's got some good run on that heater.
Well, the 4th inning was the only chance the Nats have really had against the Diamondbacks to jump into this ball game again. They had the bases loaded, a couple of outs. Big 3-1 pitch to Ian Desmond. Escobar started that inning off with a single. Anthony Rendon thought he had a single, then there was a force out at third. Then Harper singled, a walk to Robinson, and they haven't really been able to muster anything since or before.
Yeah, that's when you know things aren't going your way offensively. You get 3 straight hits, and one guy gets forced out on one of them into the outfield. Two to Ramos. Jammed by the fastball. Bouncer to Lamb. 2 outs.
You can visit the Fitz this summer for great baseball and affordable family fun. August highlights include Military Appreciation Night, camo shirt, replica jersey, Ryan Zimmerman bobblehead giveaways, fireworks every Saturday and Sunday. For all your ticket and promotional information, visit PotomacNationals.com.
One of the problems that Addison Reed had early in the season was this matchup. Michael A. Taylor hit that grand slam against him. He was trying to save a game that was at the time 6-5 Diamondbacks. Michael A. hit one straight out to center to make it 9-6 Nats. Trying to work a 1-2-3 7th inning here. Tyler Moore on deck. Tyler would hit for Roark. Breaking ball away. Tried to pull it right to the shortstop. Addison Reed gets 3 ground ball outs. The Nats have 3 hits all night. This one to the 8th, and looks like Drew Storen. Visit Annapolis.org. Find the Chesapeake experience at visitannapolis.org and by Land Rover, above and beyond. Ian Desmond, great job of hanging in. Nick Ahmed all over him on that double play. So you can play good defense. You can pitch pretty well. That was a rough night for Doug Fister. But if you don't have any offense going at all, everything else becomes twice as tough.
And it becomes magnified.
Yeah.
So every mistake that Doug Fister made, he couldn't get away with tonight because there's been a lack of offense. And, you know, it's one of those things. They're in a rut right now. This has been a streaky ball club all year offensively. They're really, really good, or they struggle. And they've been struggling lately because of some pitchers they've run into. And a guy in Godfrey tonight that had his way with him.
Yeah, tonight in this case, a rookie making his third major league start. Nats haven't been able to do a thing with him. And Drew Storen, he got a really nice ovation from the crowd as they heard the walk-up music, and then he came to the mound to get some work here, some needed work in the 8th inning. Goes with a fastball to start things off. The leadoff man for the D-backs, A.J. Pollock. Drew's 2 outings in Miami, Wednesday night and Thursday afternoon. 6 batters in a row retired in 8th innings. 19 pitches, 17 strikes.
And you'd think that Papelbon's coming in for the 9th as well.
Well, you serve a couple of purposes by that. Get him some work. And also, FP, get a guy like Papelbon maybe used to how the mound feels here in his new home ballpark.
Yeah, he's pitched on it before, but yeah, I mean, Drew Storen has to knock the rust off. And if you don't have save opportunities in your closer, you got to come in. And I think his only rough outing was in Tampa when it wasn't a save opportunity. So
it's been great. Going up there hacking, Paul Goldschmidt.
That is officially the highest pop-up of the year by far. That went over our heads. It was about 3 or 4 rows deep. And then it had that comeback action to it with the rotation right to Wilson Ramos.
So Goldschmidt not 0 for 2 very many times this year. Follow the Nats wherever you are. MLB.com at bat, #1 app for live baseball. Highlights, look-ins, replay reviews, StatCast, and more. Get MLB.com at bat for your smartphone or tablet. Here's Peralta. Drew Storen swinging a miss on a fastball, tailing up and away. Peralta, 0 for 1 career against Drew. Throwing nothing but strikes. He's just been on the attack lately. Drew is on his way to 100 saves before the Papelbon deal, sitting at 95 career with 29 this year. That's a nasty slider. Killer slider gets a swing, and that's it. And Drew Storen, for the 3rd consecutive time over the last week, has a 1-2-3 8th inning. The Nats have the pitcher spot due up, then the top of the order, and a long way to go in a 5-0 game. Patrick Corbin, 2-3. He had elbow surgery earlier. This will be his 6th start since returning. Max Scherzer looking for number 12 with that 2.22 ERA. And he's 2-0, 1.29 career against the team with which he started his big league career, the Arizona Diamondbacks. 6:30 Nats extra. Bottom 8 now. Tyler Moore will lead off. As Addison Reed is out there for another inning of work. Well, for Tyler, Danny Espinosa, Clint Robinson, back to the situation where at-bats are tough to come by. Trying to make the most of these opportunities when you get them. Jonathan Papelbon for the 9th. Big swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tyler Moore 0 for 1 against Addison Reed. Three saves on the year. If things go quickly here, he could get a 3-inning save. But they have Oliver Perez, a lefty, throwing out in left field. Maybe with Harper in mind if a couple guys get on. And the count's even at Tyler Moore, 2-2. Meanwhile, in Miami, the Mets feeling their oats are 10-0 up on the Marlins.
I mean, that weekend series has to give them confidence.
Energized them. As mentioned, they were only winning basically 1 out of every 3 road games this year.
You might see Danny Espinosa in there tomorrow, speaking of some energy. And you know Max Scherzer's always going to bring that.
You in with it. 2-2. Fastball up and away for the strikeout. Yunel Escobar, home run in New York last night.
Yeah, fastball up from Syndergaard, got on top of it. That's a far one for Yunel.
So for the Nats, their 102nd home run of the year. So times that by $250. That's how much the Children's National Health System gets for every Nat homer, thanks to our Washington, D.C. Lexus dealers. Lexus, the pursuit of perfection. Yunel Escobar, 1-for-1 career against Addison Reed. 1-for-2.
That's a balk. That's a second baseman balk by Aaron Hill. He's getting razzed by the fans. He got that line drive, put his head down, and he's about 8 shades of red right now. Watch this. Okay, innings over. Let's go hit.
Oops. Yeah, still 3 outs.
Okay, I'm going to go hit. Wait, okay, I'm going to play this off. Oops.
Try to look cool.
If you play long enough, that happens to everyone at least once.
There's Anthony Rendon. Oh for 2 tonight. 0 for 2 career against Reed. Hit by a pitch to start off the 6th inning, but the Bryce Harper 3-6-3 double play ball, engineered by Goldschmidt, took care of that inning.
Good swing.
One ball and 2 strikes. Fastball away, and Anthony just wrote it out that way. Good crowd on hand tonight for a Monday evening. 30,888. It's about 3,000 under the Nats average, which is 5th in the National League. We'll get a bunch of folks tomorrow night to see Max Scherzer go for number 12. Rendon pops it up right side. Paul Goldschmidt and the Nats have gone in order again. They haven't had a hit since the 5th and only 3 all night. 5-0 into the 9th.
For the Nats, 5-0 Diamondbacks. It's time for Toyota Case for Kids. The Washington area Toyota dealers want to help children and their families by making a donation of $37 to the Children's Inn at NIH for every strikeout by a Nats pitcher this season. You see Jonathan Papelbon, fastball 91-93. He can get up there mid-90s if he wants to. Breaking ball and then the splits the out pitch. 39th appearance for the Nats' new closer. 2-1 record, 1.55 ERA, 41 strikeouts, 8 walks, and opponents hitting .207. And look at right-handers, 160 average against Papelbon.
First up for the Diamondbacks, top of the 9th, will be Wellington Castillo, their catcher.
And by the way, just getting to know him the last 3 or 4 days, he couldn't be nicer in the clubhouse. He is as good as it gets. And I didn't know anything about him, never met him before. He's a breath of fresh air.
Delivers a fastball 91 to the inside corner. Wellington Castillo, 1 plate appearance against Papelbon, base on balls. He's 1 for 3 tonight with his 12th home run of the year. Slider had him reaching, and a flare to left for Clint Robinson. 1 out.
His bat has traveled further than a lot of hits tonight if you put them all 3 together.
2 flips and a break.
2 flips and a break. And you see the slider from Papelbon, late break. Castillo down to a knee. Bat did not die a hero.
Next up, Jake Lamb. Seeing the 34-year-old right-hander for the first time.
most of Papelbon's delivery is the deception. Watch how he comes closed and puts the ball in his glove. Kind of around the corner is how I used to describe it. And then shows you his back, keeps his front side closed, and then the ball comes out of nowhere.
That was close, a little inside, maybe down 2-0.
And guys will tell you the reason they put the ball in back there like Papelbon does is so you can't see him changing his grip in his glove. Watch, this would be a good angle that you can't see at home if you're standing at home. See that? Now if his glove moves or fans, he's not tipping his pitches.
And a ball driven to left. Clint Robinson going back, and that ball is out of here. It just sneaks into the bullpen, and Arizona, with its 4th homer of the night, leads 6-0. Jake Lamb, opposite field power for his 4th home run.
Well, he's been hot coming into this one. In his last 8 games, he's hitting .370, 10 for his last 27, 3 doubles, a triple, a homer, 6 RBI. So add to that tonight. And maybe the hottest hitter for the Diamondbacks. 2 more hits tonight and a home run.
And a ball slapped out to short on the first pitch to Aaron Hill. 2 down. Number 8 man, Nick Ahmed. He's been unstoppable tonight with a 3rd inning homer, a 5th inning leadoff single scored later on a sac fly, and then a 7th inning leadoff single. Big fastball. On a pitch up, base hit, kind of a hanger. Ahmed 4 for 4. That'll bring in Jared Saltalamacchia to pinch hit.
It's always a dangerous thing when a closer comes into a non-save situation, getting work. Just don't have that same adrenaline you have that you're used to 24 other guys counting on you to save the day.
And Saltalamacchia goes up hacking on a play. He's 1 for 4 career against Papelbon. Jared Saltalamacchia has made stops now with Atlanta, Texas, Boston, Marlins last year, 114 games, and now Arizona.
He's got, I mean, an armpit to armpit last name is a long one, but he's going like lower lat to lower lat. I mean that's stretching out a name on a jersey. Almost like a half circle.
14-letter name, longest in big league history.
If only he could have played when Harry Carey was alive.
Harry would have tried to do it backwards too.
He would have just said, "Oh, just call him Salty." Can you do that one backwards?
I don't know.
What do you got?
All I know is the last 2 syllables are Chia. And a foul ball off to the left. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Look at it. It's blowing up the scoreboard. Too many letters, so we quit.
Right in there, inning over. Papelbon gives up a home run and a base hit, strikes out Saltalamacchia. It'll be Harper, Zimmerman, and Robinson. 3-4-5, bottom of the 9th.
To the bottom of the ninth, Johnny Holiday with Ray Knight. And stick around for our Nets Extra postgame show coming up in just a couple of minutes. 17 consecutive games against Western Division opponents started tonight. This is not the way anybody envisioned things starting. So far, we still have half an inning to go. I'm optimistic.
Okay, well, let's just jump out of here and score about 10. Johnny, I've seen this happen so many times, and you don't know where it comes from, why it happens. Doug Fister's certainly better than he's pitched since the All-Star break. He had 12 days off, and he's been hammered since those 12 days off. I mean, going about 5 or 6 innings, but averaging 8 or 9 hits every outing. And he's a heck of a pitcher, and he's just not making pitches. He's given up a lot of home runs of late. Our offense has not done anything. I mean, we haven't really done anything in the last 2 weeks, certainly not since the big boys have been back. And we didn't expect it to happen overnight. But we've got to certainly do a whole lot better in 2 compartments, and that one is pitching and keeping the ball down, and 2 is starting to hit the ball more solidly.
Bob and F.P. are saying, give it to us. We'll give it to them right now. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. We hope it's longer than a couple of minutes. Guys?
All right, thanks, Johnny and Ray. Great to have you back. Hope you're feeling good. And we're going to the bottom of the 9th inning. Daniel Hudson, this guy is hot for their bullpen. He's throwing mid-90s right now. Harper, Zimmerman, Robinson, bottom of the 9th inning. Bryce Harper faces him for the first time. And he gets under one out to short right. Inciarte waiting for it to come down. 1 out.
Yeah, fastball averaging 96 from Hudson this year. And his slider is 88.
It goes on to the right shoulder of Max Scherzer for Game 2 tomorrow night. He'll take on Patrick Corbin. Scherzer so impressive. It'll be his 22nd start. So with 21 starts, he's had 19 decisions.
You would think tomorrow is enough is enough start from Max Scherzer.
Yeah. I think that's a great way to put it. Some people will say must win. You're 1 game out of first place if things hold up tonight.
Well,
so yeah, I like the way you phrase that.
Enough is enough. You're the ace. That's what you do. Give me a run. That's all I need tomorrow. That's his mentality, and that's probably what he's thinking.
That's about to be shut out for the 7th time. Until that swing, see you later. Ryan Zimmerman, 7th of the year. His 2nd since coming back. The one before this won a game in Miami, and the Nats are on the board.
That ball was crushed. That was a enough is enough swing by Ryan Zimmerman. Wow. You can't pure one any better than this, folks. Fastball right down the middle, looking for it. Caught her out front, and a bullet off the bat of Ryan Zimmerman. So there's some offense and a good swing. And we get to guess a hit speed. Get your thoughts clear.
Clint Robinson base hit left field. Ian Desmond will be next. I'm going to go 105 on Zimmerman.
I'm going to say higher. I'm going to go 108. Oh, you win. 4-2. You're back in the game.
It's not the Price is Right. We can go under.
Yep. You win.
Or over as long as somebody's close. Ian Desmond 0 for 3. Against Addison Reed, against Daniel Hudson. Ian Desmond's 3 for 4.
Like I said last time, guessing the hit speed is like horseshoes and hand grenades. Just get close.
Myself, I'd rather play horseshoes. Six to 1. Desmond, chance to beat it out. Off the hand of Jake Lamb. And the Nats have 3 consecutive hits after 3 all night.
Ian Desmond will take this one. Perfectly placed. 3 straight hits. Line is moving.
And if the Nats get another man on base, it becomes a safe situation. And with that in mind, Brad Ziegler is up in the Arizona bullpen. Wilson Ramos 1 for 3 career against Daniel Hudson. Fastball hit up the middle, base hit. Robinson coming home. It's a 6-2 game. And looky here.
Hold on, hold on. Good swing by Clint Robinson. Ian Desmond reaches, and Wilson Ramos goes right back up the middle, and the line moves to Michael Taylor now. And it's good to see the Buffalo get a base hit, turn an 0 for 3 into a 1 for 4. And all of a sudden, there's some offense to talk about. Jason Worth getting loose.
Yeah, number 9 spot on deck. Mike Harkey to the mound, the Arizona pitching coach. And if there's not another out here, or even if there is, possibly, could be Hudson's last batter. Tying run is on deck.
Same seats. You too, buddy.
Taylor facing Hudson for the first time. He has one big hit, and I mean big, against the D-backs this year. That's fair. Inside the third base bag, into the corner. 2 runs will score. Taylor digging for 3. He'll stop, and it's a 6-4 game. Out of nowhere. 5 hits in a row.
Out of nowhere. Same seats. And David Peralta played this into a couple of runs down the left field corner. Good swing by Michael Taylor. Got an off-speed pitch. Hit it between Lamb and the line. And this is where it gets interesting. The route that David Peralta took to this baseball was such that he went straight over for it. It got by him. Then he had to chase it down the corner. That allowed Bob Henley to send Wilson Ramos all the way from first base. And just like that, folks, we got ourselves a ball game.
Diamondbacks didn't think they'd have to call on their closer, Brad Ziegler, in this 9th inning, but he is on the way. Worth will face him. He's the tying run. sir. Brad Ziegler warming up. Jason Worth is 2 for 7 career against him with a run batted in, and suddenly the Nats, in astonishing fashion, this quickly have the tying run in the batter's box. Ziegler 16 straight saves, 18 on the year.
Yeah, fastball 63% of the time at 83. You got to elevate him. Pick up the window, his release point, sidearm guy, get him up, throws a changeup 24% of the time, slider 13. Lots of ground balls.
Jason Worth 0 for 1 as a pinch hitter this year. And that's that 74 frisbee that'll put on the outside edge. Closers usually come in to start an inning, so that's why he hasn't inherited more runners this year. There's that running, sinking heater at 84.
Once you pick up the release point, the window, you see Jason Worth 7 at-bats, you have to make it start above your belt. Anything that starts belt high or below is going to be out of the strike zone. Or if it's in the strike zone, it's the bottom moving down, and you're just going to beat the top of the baseball into the ground. So you got to make it be right around Jason Worth's belt before you swing.
Outside.
And that's all you look for as a hitter. Look for the ball up. See it high, let it fly. Or see it high, let it fly. A lot easier at bat for a lefty, but same way for a righty. See the ball out of his hand high. And Screech wants Jason to get a knock.
2-1 pitch. Worth the tapper over by the line. Ziegler double pump, but time to make the play. 2 outs. Took him a second to find it in the glove. And it'll be up to Yunel Escobar. Escobar 0 for 1 career against Ziegler. Now this ballpark was just silent until Ryan Zimmerman.
I'll tell you what, give Nats fans a lot of credit. A 6-0 ball game that there's this many people still on their feet standing around. I mean, this ballpark is still almost the way it was when the game started, and it was a 6-0 ninth.
Eighth man to bat in the inning is Escobar.
See, that's the pitch. It started at his belt. He saw it up.
Guy can't throw one straight off that motion.
You know, that's the case for most sidearmers, except for O'Day from Baltimore. He's a guy that you have to make it beat down because his ball actually rises, or has the effect of rising. See, that ball started about thigh high and ended up around his shins. So easy to say up here. It's a lot harder when you're 60 feet 6 inches away. Not easy. That's why this guy's a closer. Rally hat's working. I see you.
Escobar lifting one to left. Long run for Peralta. He's there, and the game is over. The Nats have lost 4 straight. The Mets are ahead 12-0 in Miami. So now there is an official changing of the guard in the National League East, and the Nats will have to come back behind Max Scherzer tomorrow night. 2 hours and 40. Diamondbacks came out slugging, and then they held on to win just enough to hold on at the end. 6-4 Nats will join you for the Scherzer ball game against Corbin tomorrow night. Nats Extra 6:30. This has been a presentation of Masson. Stay tuned now. Johnny and Ray with Nats Extra coming up from the ballpark next. 9th inning rally. It falls short. 6-4 D-backs, and until tomorrow night, so long for just a while.